Meet the Sharp family, who live next door to the Brown family. One day, Mr. Sharp and Mr. Brown both decided to buy new cars. And by coincidence, they ended up buying the same make and model. When they bought their cars, both Mr. Brown and Mr. Sharp were offered the chance to protect their vehicles with Diamondbrite paint and fabric protection from Dual Ultra. Mr. Sharp said yes, but Mr. Brown said no. So the guys at the showroom, who were approved Diamondbrite contractors, applied Diamondbrite to Mr. Sharp's car, but not to Mr. Brown's. Now, if you take a very close look at a car's paintwork, you'll notice that the surface isn't perfectly smooth. Diamondbrite's unique formula, which is made from specially refined mineral rock oils, is applied professionally in 2 stages. The first layer cleans the paintwork and then fills up any tiny microscopic imperfections in the paint surface to stop dirt getting in. The second layer is uniquely formulated to chemically react with the first and combines with it to create a tough, durable glaze, which dirt particles find very difficult to stick to. So protecting your car with Diamondbrite's high-gloss protective skin not only means you'll never have to polish your car again, it helps ensure your vehicle will look as good as it did the day it left the showroom. And that's a promise backed by a lifetime guarantee that covers paint fading, flaking, or cracking. Mr. Brown and Mr. Sharp both enjoyed driving their new cars, but all the time, their shiny new paintwork was under attack. For example, there was the ultraviolet light in the hot summer sun. Sometimes the cars were parked under trees to keep them cool, which was when droplets of corrosive tree sap dropped onto them. And birds could be a problem too. Then there were the insects that kept hitting the cars, hundreds of high-speed impacts bringing more sticky chemical damage. In the winter, rain, road spray and mud brought more problems. And then there was ice, snow and salt, which were particularly damaging. These chemical and physical attacks were constantly eating away at the paint of Mr. Brown's car. But not Mr. Sharp's, because Mr. Sharp's was protected by the tough coating of Diamondbrite. Mr. Sharp had also bought the Diamondbrite Luxury Pack. This included everything he needed to keep his car looking perfect. For example, there was some alloy wheel cleaner, a glass cleaner, a vinyl and tire replenisher, an upholstery cleaner, a rain screen, which meant he had to use his wipers less frequently, a sponge, and a cloth, as well as conserver and shampoo. There was even a retractable safety cone for use in emergencies, a high-visibility jacket, a first aid kit, an alloy wheel brush, and a wind-up torch. Every weekend, Mr. Brown had to spend a lot of time washing his car and polishing it with various expensive polishes to try to get his paint to look like Mr. Sharp's. Whereas all Mr. Sharp had to do was wash his car with Diamondbrite car shampoo and then, periodically, use some Diamondbrite conserver as a wash additive to neutralize and remove birdlime marks and keep his car looking in mint condition. Which meant that Mr. Sharp had more time to spend on other things. And Mr. Brown had some other problems too, because he hadn't protected the inside of his car either. He could have chosen Dual Ultra's fabric protector, carpet protector and leather care like Mr. Sharp, but he'd chosen not to. So, whereas Mr. Sharp's car had a lifetime guarantee against everyday spills and stains like tea, coffee, fruit juice, cola, milkshakes and greasy foods, unfortunately, Mr. Brown's didn't.
No!
Even the Sharp's dog benefited from the Diamondbrite fabric protector because her hair could easily be removed from the seats. Whereas the Brown's dog was always getting into trouble for jumping on the seats because her hair was a nightmare to remove.
Get off the seats!
To be more like Mr. Sharp and less like Mr. Brown, ask your car dealer about Diamondbrite today.